All right, good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you might be. Man, tough start to the day. I'm staging about 15 minutes early just to make sure everything's going good, to monitor the stream activity, to make sure the encoder's not freaking out. There's a lot going on today. I got windows everywhere. Got the Twitch window open, I've got the OBS window open, I've got a Bushtalk Radio open, I've got X open, I've got the chat open. How's your day going? Hey, you've come to the right place if you want to see what a community fly-in is like with the Microsoft Flight Simulator group. So stand by, and again, we'll get started here at the top of the hour. People are already starting to fill in. So today is Brazil. Named which the Brazilian is named after? I don't think we'll be getting to Brazil while we're down here. I mean, sure we could. But, you know, if you're into that thing, hey, more power to you. Daddy Plump, Rigor Mortis, Uppity Whale. So this should be interesting. And if we hit any points of interest along the way, the Bushtalk audio lady will kick in. So I've tried to position the screens in a way that aren't too intrusive. And I have to wait for the show to actually start over there on Twitch so I can get the sizes exactly right. But now I see that Bushtalk is a little out of whack. Oh, let's close that. Alright, how did that happen? It's a little bit better. You should be able to see us down there. Alright. So that's the Bushtalk radio map in the lower corner. And that little green arrow. The green arrow. That is us. Check the, make sure that the audio works. You need to be logged in. What? We were logged in. It was working just a moment ago. It's always something. There we are, now we're a blue arrow.
TAM Airlines Flight 3054 was a regularly scheduled domestic passenger flight from Porto Alegre to São Paulo, Brazil. On the evening of July 17, 2007, the Airbus A320-233 executing the flight overran runway 35 liters at São Paulo during moderate rain and crashed into a nearby TAM Express warehouse adjacent to a Shell filling station. The plane exploded on impact, killing all 187 passengers and crew
That's
on board,
freaking horrible.
people on the ground. The crash surpassed Gol Transportes Aéreos Flight 1907 as the deadliest aviation.
All right, let me run and top up my coffee and I'll be right back.
And in South American history, and remains the deadliest aviation accident involving the A300
Gotta get my desk all
worldwide, and the second deadliest air disaster
situated for
involving the
all this. Let me dump this. Clean up this trash.
Metrojet Flight 9268 A321
The desk was. Be right back.
which crashed in Egypt in October 2015 with 224 fatalities. The accident was investigated by the Brazilian Air Force's Aeronautical Accidents Investigation and Prevention Center, with a final report issued in September 2009. CENIPA concluded that the accident was caused by errors committed by the pilots during the landing at Sao Paulo.
Hey, Eleanor. Gee, I think you're swell. What do my notes say? Don't screw up. Stop screwing up. All right, let me get this thing posted over there on X Twitter. Let them know I'm staging. I love Twitter, X, whatever. I've been using it so long, it's still just difficult to call it X. But if you're going to be coming in from X, I got to tell you, if I'm following in you and you saw this and you popped in, you're one of my favorite persons. I adore everybody I follow on Twitter like mad. You guys are the best. I only follow the best. It's nothing like that. It's just, you know, there are people that truly stand out. You know, in a sea of the collective unconscious, where everything just kind of blends, all the thoughts and ideas and words just kind of all mushed together in a giant soup. Some people are like the floaty croutons in the soup. They just stand out. And that's how I kind of determine, you know, over the years, who I'm following on Twitter. There's people that I'm just going to repeat what everybody else says, and I'm just going to post memes, and it's original thoughts and ideas that I've run across with people. You know, I'll read something, I'm like, wow, that's truly like mostly an original thought for me. So you're it. Okay. So again, what we're saying here is people starting to stage. If you've never done one of these, I really recommend going into the forums if you'd like to do one, either using 2020 or 2024, although we can't see each other, I've been informed. It's all right. We can still fly together. I mean, the 2020 people will be flying together, and there'll be a host representing the 2020 people. And there'll be I think Seedy's going to be the host, and he's going to be representing us 2024 people. But either way, we'll all be out there. But all of these names you're saying, these are all real people that are Microsoft Flight Simulator community flight simmers, just like yours truly. Yours truly. Super Tux. Uppity Whale. Chirillis. That plane without a name on it right there, the little black one. Well, silver, gray, that's me. It's awful quiet. And I'm using the headphones. Hey, you just sliced through my neck, buddy. Yeah. So this is, aircraft is called the Corvalis CT. I'm simulating headphones. There's an option in the simulator to simulate headphones. And it's kind of like noise canceling, so you don't really hear the engines and everything. So I hope that's not a problem for you. Like, I need some noise. It's too quiet. I know people that feel that way about electric cars. Like, I can't stand it. There's no noise. And to me, that's bliss, man. Bliss with some cherries on top. I love not hearing engines. I am all for what am I all for? Losing my mind. I am all for quiet. Looking over at the Twitch channel. Close this. Let me pop the chat out. Again, if you're just coming in, I'm just staging. We'll be taking off the top of the hour, or whenever the YouTube, the official Twitch stream starts. Okay, that looks good. Stream health, are we getting any problems? Stream health is excellent. Okay. Push out of the way. Twitch. Oh, well, we're starting right now. But anyway, yeah, it's top of the hour. So if you're just tuning in right now, good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you might be in time and space. The Microsoft Flight Simulator fly-in is just about to begin. You can hear the music kicking on over there on the Twitch site. I'll turn this off then. That's not what we want. Okay. All right, that doesn't look so bad. You're not going to be able to see their chat. And once the hosts all get in there and their faces appear on the side, I'll make any adjustments that I have to make. Usually flies at 2,000. Hello. He usually flies around 2,000 feet. So I don't know this plane that well, but I like it. Okay, so I think I was there. There's 2,000. How's your Friday going for you? I got up, I was a little bit groggy this morning. Had to slam some coffee. I mean, kind of abnormally. My sleep pattern's been a little bit off. Trying to figure out YouTube SEO and all those other things can It can rack your brain, man. So I've been putting in late nights doing homework and trying to make sure, you know, whatever, all my stuff is up to snuff. What is it? Where did that expression come from? Up to snuff. Do you know what snuff is? Like snuffleupagus? No. It's like tobacco. Yeah, and even I'm no expert on what the heck snuff is. It's a snortable tobacco? Question mark? You know, you see them in old movies, like the old French movies, where the pompous guy, you know, or whatever, that you know, they reach in their pocket, they pull out the little tin, and they take a pinch, and they go, and they snort it up one nostril, and they take a pinch, and they snort it up the other nostril, you know, and then they dab with their little, you know, napkin cloth thing. Daffy Duck, I think, played one of those fops in, like, the Scarlet Pimpernel. I can't believe I can remember that. Just what weird trivia to hang on to. And the Scarlet Pimpernel, as Daffy Duck, he would snort, you know, and then all of a sudden, achoo, 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 and he just start bouncing all over the place. At least that's how I remember it. Is that how you remember it? The Scarlet Pimpernel. I don't know about you, man. I don't like drippy nose or anything that contributes to drippy nose. Ugh. No, thank you. Hello to Kristen Darling. Hello, Kristen Darling. We got some bagels to attack downtown sometime. They must be having some technical difficulties maybe over there. Pardon me if you were hearing any echo in that. I've turned off the split channels. I feel like my brain is splitting channels right now. So what do you got planned for this weekend? Anything big going on? In my career stuff, I'm currently in near Boise, Idaho, where my favorite comedian, Zoltan Kazas, is currently performing. And it all just worked out that way. I hadn't planned it. I didn't know he was going to be in Boise. So as you fly around and get jobs, you can open up other areas of the United States. Okay, good. Now they're starting. And so I was opening up Idaho, and then all of a sudden I look over there on Facebook the other night, and
hello, everyone.
Hello, Seedy and company.
Happy Friday.
Hello.
Fly Day. So
hello. Cheers.
Of you joining us for yet another Community Fly-In Friday. This time our second flight in about a month, exploring the new world update.
Hello, people.
Brazil.
All you amazing flight simmers.
Traveling between the two largest cities in Brazil, Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro. My great pleasure today be to join
Sour Paulo.
Favorite guests on the channel, Allison Johnson. Great.
Hello, Allison Johnson.
Thank you for having me back, CD. Lovely to be here. Happy Friday, everyone.
Oh, it's her again. Oh, I love her voice. I like
open of
foreign accents.
Players, all platforms, all skill levels, both versions of the sim. Everyone can fly.
I totally told them about all that, CD.
For PC, Xbox Cloud Gaming, all can join. Type !fly in the chat. That will give you the instructions on how to join today's flight. I will personally be on Flight Sim 2024. Allison will be leading the pack on 2020. And on that note, Allison, what aircraft are you flying today?
I am flying the good old Cessna 185 Foxtrot Skywagon.
Yes.
Chat. I'm a Cessna girl at heart, Luke.
You got your shirt on and everything, yeah?
I've got my shirt. I was going to put my hat on, but I thought I'd look a bit like that chap from Wayne's World when he turned up in all his gear. So I didn't think that was quite good. But yes, I'm in this one.
Somebody's running around on the field out there.
Right, great. Well, really excited to have you with us, Allison. Of course, if you would like to fly this plane, the 185F, this was free for all 2024 players. This is a way of apology for the poor launch experience back in November.
It's still, I better not say it. Yes, it will. It's still a poor launch experience. They're working on it, though.
Free, and this is one of those.
Keep the faith. Keep the faith.
24 player, you can get this aircraft for free. Also available from the 2020 marketplace for the usual price of $14.99 US. You want to check that one out.
Speaking of, a new camp out utilities on the way.
I'm personally flying one of my favorite aircraft today, the Cub Crafters NX Cub. As you can see from our flight plan, we have a total duration of 206 nautical miles. So we're recommending a cruising speed of around 110 knots or so today. That should get us there in time for our 2-hour live stream, plus a touch and go landing en route. We, of course, are starting in Sao Paulo. Sierra Bravo, Sierra Papa is the origin airport. Sierra Bravo, Romeo Juliet, the destination airport. And there you can see the flight plan on the screen. It doesn't matter if you're on 2020 or 2024. Make sure you're in all players mode. Very important. You have to set this before you start the flight. If you're already loaded into a flight, you cannot change this setting. So make sure you're on all players before you begin.
Where is Seedy? I didn't see him.
You're on the Southeast Asia server. Depending on which version of the sim you use, you can change the server in a different location for each one. With that said, I think we're ready to go. So let me hit the start flight button. We'll go to Allison's screen for a sec so we can watch. Looks like you got Edarin in the background there.
Okay, so he's spawning in.
Yeah, we got a gang and gaggle of planes behind us, various.
Oh, that's unfortunate that they haven't. We don't have the technology or whatever. They don't have the technology to put us all together, no matter what version that you have.
Looks like it spawned here in a moment on 2024. We'll see how many of us are on 2024 as well. I'm just looking at the loading screen. I'm seeing a lot of nameplates down below me. The Die Hard gang. That's the 2020 Die Hard gang.
Yep.
Agent Previous, it's been a while since I've seen a PC-6 on Fly-In Friday. You know, it all depends on our flight plan. And
is somebody on their screen? It looks like a
live traffic, or is that another plane?
Archer Midnight.
No, live traffic.
Paulo, largest city by population in Brazil. So
yes, and there's quite a few coming in behind us. I just completely forgot to turn it all off. So there we go.
Seedy, if he spawns in, he should be spawning in like directly next to us.
I also have no autopilot.
Good note there from Lipatorius too. A small group flying in the Sim Update 2 beta. That's right. It is a separate multiplayer environment. So if you are enrolled in this beta, you will only be able to see other beta players. I myself, let me just hit this ready to fly button. I am on the live build. So anyone who is not in the beta will be able to see me. I'm just looking around, seeing lots of nameplates about. But if you are in the beta build for Sim Update 2,
anybody has any comments or thoughts, or you just want to say something on the live stream?
All right, I'm going to put my autopilot.
The Discord is open.
That's our
2,000 feet. Seedy.
Pilot, what is this witchcraft that you talk about?
Here we are at Sao Paulo. Our field elevation is 2,600 feet. Let's say 5,500.
Okay.
To begin.
4.5 should be all right. But yeah.
And we'll see how we go for that. So target elevation of 5,500 plugged in there. Let's bring our map up as well. All right, I think we're ready to go, chat. Here we go. Parking brake is off. Full throttle is in. I got a bunch of other planes in the way here. All right, there we go. Now I can see where I'm going. And we are rolling and underway for...
Pardon me, coming through.
Brazil Part 2. You may remember about a month ago, we did a flight down the Nile River. And this was voted upon by you, the members of our community. We did a poll on Instagram and I think Twitter as well on where you would... I think it was just Instagram. Where you would rather fly for our Brazil fly-in, either the Nile River or between the two largest cities, Sao Paulo and Rio.
The most populous city
and it
in
was
Brazil,
with
the
over
Americas,
5,000
the Western
votes
Hemisphere,
cast,
and the Southern
Only
Hemisphere.
9
Additionally,
votes. 9.
Sao
Single
Paulo
digit
is
9,
the
not
largest
90, not
Portuguese-speaking
19,
city
not
in the
900,
world.
9
The municipality
votes
is also
separated
the
the
world's
first choice from
fourth
the second
largest
choice.
city proper
So,
by
with the vote
population.
being that close,
The
we
city
thought it
is
was
the
appropriate
capital
we
of
do
the surrounding
both.
state of Sao Paulo,
All right, and of
the
course,
most populous
with
and
World Update
wealthiest
19,
state in
Sao
Brazil.
Paulo does-
It exerts strong international influences in commerce, finance, arts, and entertainment. The name of the city honors the apostle, St. Paul of Tarsus. The city's metropolitan area, the Greater Sao Paulo, ranks as the most populous in Brazil and the 12th most populous on Earth. The process of conurbation between the metropolitan areas located around the Greater Sao Paulo created the Sao Paulo macrometropolis, a megalopolis with more than 30 million inhabitants. Sao Paulo is a cosmopolitan, melting pot city, home to large Arab, Italian, Japanese, and Portuguese diasporas. Sao Paulo has a myriad of urban fabrics. The original nuclei of the city are vertical, characterized by the presence of commercial buildings and services, and the peripheries are generally developed with 2 to 4 story buildings. Compared to other global cities, however, Sao Paulo is considered a low-rise building city.
That is very dense.
Buildings rarely reach 40 stories, and the average residential building is 20. Nevertheless, it is the
They have a lot of buildings.
number of buildings.
Yeah.
Sao Paulo has 2 main airports, Sao Paulo Guarulhos International Airport
You get a building, and you get a building, and you get a building.
and Kinneas Sao Paulo Airport for domestic and regional flights. The region of Greater Sao Paulo is also served by the Viracopos Campinas International Airport, the São José dos Campos Airport and the Jundiaí Airport. Kinneas Airport operates flights mainly to Rio de Janeiro, Porto Alegre, Belo Horizonte, and Brasilia. Kinneas Airport is close to the 3 main cities' financial districts, Paulista Avenue, Brigadeiro Faria Lima Avenue, and Engenheiro Luís Carlos Barini Avenue. Sao Paulo Guarulhos International, also known as Cumbica, is 16 miles northeast of the city center, in the neighboring city of Guarulhos. Construction of a 3rd passenger terminal was completed in time to the 2014 World Cup and raised yearly capacity to 40.
Trying to figure out what the plane's trying to figure out. What is the plane doing?
Is South America's largest. Campo de Marte is located in the northern part of Sao Paulo. It handles private flights
Plane's like, I want to be perfect, man. I want to.
taxi firms. It is the base for the largest helicopter
I want to get it just right.
the world's
You're totally screwing up, plane.
Tokyo, with a fleet of more than 3,500
Okay.
helicopters. From this airport, passengers can take advantage of some 350 remote helipads and
Let's figure out what it's trying to do here.
heavy road traffic. Sao Paulo Catarina Executive Airport located in São Roque handles general aviation traffic.
State 19, and the photogrammetry here is pretty good. Some of the best I've seen.
Yeah, all right, looks like we're on it.
Decent.
Yeah.
I mean,
Now,
yeah.
if you remember York talking about this during one of the developer live streams, a lot of times we are limited in what cities we update, what world updates are available. Oh, by the way, there's another POI below me, right there. See that? That is the museum, I think.
Yeah, there's a museum.
Beautiful garden in front of it as well.
Let me find the bush talk for that.
Jorg was saying, you know, we know the world update for Brazil has been very highly requested by the community. We know we have a lot of Brazilian flight simmers out there who really wanted to see their country.
So that's where we're at.
And we are limited by data that is available. And
That was
not a good data
not the
source
museum.
for photogrammetry for Brazil. And so we actually hired a plane with a very sophisticated camera.
Oh, there's a bridge, it says right over here.
From the Brazilian aviation authorities to fly, you know, zigzag patterns across several major Brazilian cities. So this is all data that was original to us that we created for Microsoft Flight Simulator specifically for the purpose of
The Museum of
World
Fine
Update
Arts of
Brazil.
Sao Paulo is a university
Very cool.
museum located
And the
in
nice
the
thing-
neighborhood of Vila Mariana.
Yeah, we
in the
actually
city of
cooperate.
Sao
So most of our
Paulo,
data source comes
Brazil.
from Bing Maps.
It opened on September 23, 2007, and was officially registered on April 14, 2008. The museum is connected to the Fine Arts University Center of Sao Paulo, commonly known as Fine Arts, a private institution of higher learning, and is sustained through the School of Fine Arts Foundation of Sao Paulo. The museum aims at the conservation, documentation, study, and exhibition of the collection of art and history saved since 1925 through the University Center, when it was founded under the denomination of the Academy of Fine Arts of Sao Paulo. As a university museum, it also acts in the promotion and dissemination of the scientific production and cultural production of fine arts and how didactic experimentation and center of cultural diffusion, organizing temporary exhibitions and various educational activities.
Okay. See if there's anything, pardon me, see if there's anything else around. Something, oh, it's a radio station. Indeed. So yeah, the application I'm using that you're looking at the lower right-hand corner is called Bushtalk Radio. And that was the initial idea, is that you could travel around and you can listen to any radio station that's available. And most of them are there. They've been having a tough time lately. I don't know if it's a copyright thing. But when it first started, every radio station, and now not so much. But that's not really what I use it for. I use it for the audio tours, learning things about where I'm going. And you can create your own audio tours. So, for example, if you live right here and there's something really cool right there and they don't have a point for it, you can click this little plus down here and you can add a point of interest and put in your script, and the AI will read it for you, and usually gets approved within 24 hours. You know, there are some rules they want you to follow when cutting and pasting and da-da-da-da-da, so you're going to read up on it before you make a post, because once you do, you can't take it back. And I don't think there's any way to delete any entries that you've created in the system. All right, I am using live weather, but I didn't think it was going to be a problem, and I still don't think it's going to be a problem, but if it does, and we can't see anything here, yeah, maybe I better just switch over to partial clouds. I don't want to ruin your view. So let's turn off live weather and just leave it at that. Man, this place is huge. Let me turn back up Twitch. Hear what they're talking about. I can hear them typing. There's Mojo Ryzen 55. I see him every week. Who else do I see every week?
Autopilot Ace. I have no personal control over what gets released to the marketplace.
Code Nuts.
To the developer of that, Miltech.
I better speed up a little bit. I'm a bit behind you.
Oh, that reminds me. I should check my speed.
Stuxus says
I'm supposed to stay
in 2018
10.
visiting Brazil. They were still.
Oh, I'm going 140.
Well, that's good. That's good sportsmanship. Yes. It was a tragedy against Germany. Really shame for us Brazilians. Yes, obviously, so much pressure as the host country. You want your home team to do well. And, even if they lose, if it was a close match, you might thought, they played valiantly and, it might be a little bittersweet, but to lose in such crushing fashion, I imagine was pretty devastating for the Brazilian fans. I'm sure a lot of us remember, even though it was 11 years ago now, a lot of us remember all those famous photographs of Brazilian fans and their team's colors crying in the stadium.
Yeah. Call a whammy, Lance. Speaking of sporting matches, throughout this last week, we did a lot of role playing.
All in the World Cup.
I did a lot of role playing.
Times total.
I say we because you're a viewer. You're included. did a lot of role playing,
haven't they?
Yes.
and
Or more than.
we had a couple of sporting events this week in previous episodes. So one of them, while we were flying around Utah, we found a stadium that didn't look like a stadium. I couldn't tell where it was. Everything looked like a box. So they put a stadium in a box. Either way, it said it was a stadium. And so we got into a full padded weapons competition. Our team against their local full padded weapons guys. And we won. We rolled a critical on that, so we trounced them. So you must be really good at the padded weapon hand-to-hand stuff. And then we had... What did we do? Oh, yesterday we went gold panning at a place called Fine Gold, Oro Fino, Idaho, which is Spanish for fine gold. F-I-N-E, fine. And we were unsuccessful. I don't know anything about gold panning. I tell myself, how hard could it be? I watch those Gold Rush shows. No matter how many times we rolled, we just couldn't. Our panning skills were... and we did not get any gold. Did some fishing, caught lots of fish. You know, this is all role-playing, of course. And using D&D dice. So, 5th edition rules, difficulty classes, things like that. We got into a football match against the current University of Utah team. Young, beefy dudes against us old, middle-aged dudes. And we managed to win that one. I put us at I didn't put us at any negatives, but it was a difficulty class 15. And we rolled a 17. So, yada, yada. So anyway, I have a lot of fun with the D&D dice, doing a lot of things like that. And also rolling for the bad guys. Now, this is a role-playing live stream. The whole gist of the story is that after being pecked by a radioactive bird, mild-mannered T. Tuthill, that's me, was compelled to become Kinneas, the Sky Dude, or a Sky Dude. Looking out there, you know, these are all Sky Dudes and dude-ettes and the thems and but I, you know, was compelled to become a Sky Dude. But there's always the negative element out there. You've got to have a nemesis. Nemesis? What's this? A nemesis is singular. But what if it's a whole bunch of nemesis? It's nemesi, right? Well, either way, there's always that element, negative element, that's trying to thwart the progress of Kinneas becoming a Sky Dude. And so, using the D&D dice and the Random Failures app, I'm able to give the bad guys an opportunity to cause something bad to happen with the aircraft. And I'm not going to be doing that today. I want to get through this. But during the week, especially in the last several days, if you want to tune in and check it out, I've got chapters up for most of them. You can find areas where I'm using the dice to roll random failures for the bad guys, or just to add more spice to it. I'm going to start doing something different in the future. For any viewers that are watching when I'm doing any role-playing, like, okay, it's going to be our group against their group, and it's going to be very difficult. They're very experienced, you know, and it's going to be a difficulty class 19. So, I mean, we've got to roll a 19 or better. And even with my pluses becoming a superhero, I'll maybe add a +1 if it's something that I know how to do. I'm going to start adding pluses for any viewers that are active watching the show. So you tuning in is going to could make a big difference on us beating some of these challenges that I come up with. All right, let's get back to Seedy. I don't know why he calls himself Seedy. I really don't want to ask. Well, where's the sound?
Most popular touring act in the entire world right now.
Would agree. I mean, her tours.
Look at this. We got a
What, Taylor Swift?
7 below me was doing. Oh, it's an Eagle. The username is 737, but flying an F-15.
I haven't seen him at all.
Aerobatic maneuvers below me a second ago. All right, look at this really pretty scenery in Brazil here.
It really is.
The Sao Paulo area, you know, the massive urban city is in our rear mirror now. But look at the beautiful green rolling fields, and we got some hills, terrain, we have some lakes. This is quite scenic up ahead.
God, I can get a few Madonna songs, but not very many of Lady Gaga's. Even though I used to.
Oh, Lady Gaga.
Listen to her, or,
Yeah.
song.
Well, I was out last week for karaoke with some friends. We did Like a Prayer, as one does.
I don't know why in Bush Talk it's been toggling off Follow the Plane. That happened yesterday. Just I wanted everything to be perfect yesterday.
Versus Lady Gaga. I mean, I could definitely name more Madonna songs, but again, that's
You know how you yearn to do a live stream
famous recording
that doesn't have any errors?
40 plus years.
I have mastered yearning.
Gaga, maybe 15 years.
I think I'm mastering yearning. Something's always going wrong.
Yeah.
Still, both huge acts though.
Heading towards Villa da Prata. Conjunto Residencial Nova Bertioga.
Here's where I'm gonna slag Madonna just slightly though. Well, just a little bit.
Go for it.
Longtime viewers of the channel will know I am a huge fan of the James Bond series, and I will have to say,
I too.
rank all the Bond theme songs for every movie. Madonna for Die Another Day is like F tier. It's pretty bad. It might even be
The World Is Not Enough.
theme song in the entire series.
It's such a damn good. Well, they're all.
Disagree with that?
I agree. Not just because I'm on stream or anything, but no. It was,
Yeah.
What's the one that Adele did?
you compare to some of the stuff that you've had.
Yeah.
The amazing
Skyfall.
Tom Jones.
Adele's Skyfall theme for Bond is wow.
Duran, right?
Yep.
A View to a Kill.
Nobody does it better. Yeah.
Yeah. That
Carly Simon.
Money. That's my favorite Bond theme song.
I think mine's. I'll go with Skyfall at this point.
It's a tough one.
Yeah. Ahhhhh did A View to a Kill. That's right. Goldfinger by
No, Ahhhhh did a different one.
some great ones. But yes, Madonna's was not among the greats, unfortunately for her.
Didn't Chris Cornell do one?
A View to a Kill was Duran Duran. Okay, Living Daylights, sorry, was
There you go. Ahhhh, Living Daylights.
Yeah, Duran did a good video for it. So.
Yeah, back when MTV was.
View to a Kill also had the great
I used to love running home, taking the bus home, and getting home in the afternoons in the 80s. Or
yep, her as well.
new videos to break on MTV.
Yeah.
It was great, Beavis.
Domino? Was that her name? Her character's name?
No.
Mayday.
Mayday.
That was it. I should have known that. It's an aviation reference.
Domino was Jane Seymour in Doctor. Live and Let Die.
Right.
Live and let die.
Skyfall, that was a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good.
Yeah.
Then Skyfall's quite a good film. Isn't it?
Mm-hmm. I want them to reboot Bond back to the 60s
The franchise is now owned
by Amazon.
and they're going to obviously, spoiler alerts, if you have not yet seen No Time to Die, which came out over 3 years ago now, so of statute of limitations. So if you have not yet
Statute of limitations.
maybe just cover your ears for the next little bit. But at the end of No Time to Die, James Bond, played by
Daniel Craig.
Sorry, I was thinking Pierce Brosnan, and I knew that was wrong. Daniel Craig, of course, his character was killed off at the end of No Time to Die. And so, whenever they continue the series, there will have to be a new Bond, or it'll be a reboot. Here's what I hope they do.
Take him back to the 60s.
Franchise,
Take him back to the 60s.
single Bond film, all of them. I'm a big fan of this.
And I would use declassified MI
You know what I would do?
material.
I would reboot the series and set it in the 1960s.
That's right.
Started.
Like when it started.
Yeah,
Make it a period piece. Make it a
absolutely.
or spy period piece.
And link it to the real world.
The West and the Soviet Union, and then you've got like Spectre.
There's so many stuff. There's so much intel and information that has been declassified since the 60s.
Like the Berlin Wall would still be in effect. Like you would have Bond show up in West.
Instead of just being like, oh, let's write a fun spy story. Yeah, you can add that in there, but
they would meet at like Checkpoint Charlie or something like
really start grounding it.
Really lean into the Cold War 60s vibe.
Exactly.
Give them the car would be a 1960s Aston Martin.
Yes, please.
It would be like retrofuturism. Like it would be stuff that today we take for granted as present day technology, but in the 60s it would have been fantastical. So like a 1960s version of a smartphone.
You nailed it.
Wouldn't be as good as like an iPhone or an Android phone, but it would be like a classic, fantastical 1960s piece of technology. And yes, all the gadgets, lipstick. That's what I would do if I had full creative control over the James Bond franchise, is reboot it and set it in the 1960s.
Interesting. What's your favorite film?
From the Bond series?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Casino Royale is S tier.
I like Thunderball.
I don't know if this is a hot take or not. I don't like the Roger Moore era Bond films. I thought they leaned too much into the silliness and too much into the camp. I liked GoldenEye.
I was a little kid, so it didn't matter to me. I just wanted Bond.
2001
Moonraker, as a little kid, Moonraker was the best. I loved Jaws. I mean, he was a good bad guy. Hey, there's a cool dam down there. Damn.
I do like Goldfinger a lot. And for
Goldfinger, for sure.
There's a aviation connection to that one.
Yeah, Pussy Galore.
Yes.
No,
and her female aviation group.
I have quite a fondness for You Only Live Twice. But the one that really surprises me is that in this house we have quite a soft spot for the Lazenby film.
Yes.
Oh, really?
That was actually not bad.
They fired him because of a beard.
People didn't like George Lazenby as an actor for his rendition of the role, but in terms of plot and story, On Her Majesty's Secret Service, the one and only Bond film that George Lazenby played, I think that's one of the better movies, and it actually has character development.
It does.
Alert for like a 50+.
It's got some camp in it too, with all the ladies being silly.
James Bond gets married, and at the end,
Vesper,
after he's defeated the bad guy, his wife gets assassinated right in front of
Diana Rigg. Diana Rigg played Vesper,
and it's
Riggs
provides a lot of character
from the Avengers
for Bond, which the series then, of course, sort of throws away and discards.
Yeah, but it all happened in the books. He did get married, and she did get killed. No, Telly Savalas was Blofeld, so who was the person behind that?
I forgot that.
Yeah,
that's why but it did. It lost that sort of storytelling. Why Bond was so anti. Why he was. Blofeld was such a nemesis of his.
Mm-hmm. It was
nemesis.
Yes, it was personal.
Very. We have all the time in the world. Yes, exactly. Tarnished Moss Man. That was the famous quote from that. And also, was that the theme song?
It was the theme song. Yes.
Correct.
So yeah, that's interesting that. Yeah, that we have.
Oh my God. Yeah. You're smoking the cockpit.
The other fan theory.
Smoking the cockpit.
Bond fan theory.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Was
smoking the cockpit.
007, of course, is his. but the name James Bond is also a code name assigned to an MI6 agent, and it's not the same agent. So every time they pass the role, it's a different person. So, for example, Sean Connery and Roger Moore.
I think they really did explain that pretty good in that the comedy Bond movie, the one with Peter Sellers,
kind of like that,
was also on Her Majesty's Secret Service, I believe. Like Peter Sellers and Woody Allen, I think. I'm starting to get old, and I used to have super sharp memory for trivia and stuff, and these days I'm off sometimes.
Whenever there's a new MI6 agent assigned the number 007, they are also assigned the code name James Bond, but that's not necessarily their real birth name.
Correct. There's a way to have all kinds of Bonds in the Bond family, because his cover is Universal Exports, correct?
Suddenly, lots of people behind me.
So, again, when Bond travels around, they really don't play that up a whole lot.
Inside the aircraft, though.
Right? Because that's not something everybody's like, well, what company is Bond? What's his front? In all the movies, it doesn't ever seem to matter that he has a front.
That's good.
Because, like, after 2 minutes,
autopilot on
everybody already is engaging, oh, Mr. Bond, and
trying to reverse.
We've got you now, Mr. Bond. People are hunting him down. So it's like this cover identity doesn't ever really
stream and everything, and go outside
work.
Try to do nice camera shots and everything, and all of a sudden my plate.
But that's something, again, if I was in charge of the franchise, I'd say, come on, play up the Universal Exports, and you can have a whole lot of Bond family members.
Also reading all the comments in chat
that work for Universal Exports.
Simultaneously flying my aircraft, so it's task saturation.
Yes, I let you off. I let you off.
Where's my camera at?
Yeah, look at all the aircraft behind me as well.
Uh-oh. I've just
today.
Froze.
And on that note,
Alex, no, don't crash, please.
No, you're going to do it while I'm flying.
I am going to do it while you're flying.
Oh, please don't crash.
Oh, no.
Chat. Where are you from?
Well, I might as well go over there and... Oh, no, we crashed. The simulate... That doesn't happen. I mean, it rarely happens.
Colorado, Phoenix, Florida, Liverpool, UK, Netherlands, Oklahoma, Swazilita, California, Essex, Hamilton, Ramstein, Austin, Spain, Yorkshire, West Yorkshire, Colorado Springs, Wisconsin, Brussels, Canada, Liverpool, South Carolina, Montreal, Santa Florida, Michigan, Niagara Falls, Rio de Janeiro, Bingen, Fort Lauderdale, Spain, Nottingham in the UK, Calgary, Missouri. I had to remember the Colorado. I was trying to remember what the hell FXPH.
So that's like 3 or 4 of us from Colorado already.
Living in the Black Forest. Schwarzwald. Hamburg, Lancashire. You made it easy for me, guys. Primitivo. You are not from Primitivo. That's a wine. Salisbury. San Francisco, New Delhi. When we went to Flight Sim weekend, we did have a few bottles of Primitivo, I must say. It was very nice. There we go. I think, yeah, that's not bad.
All right.
I think they went easy on me, to be honest.
Big round of applause for Allison, reading all your locations, and a special shout out to all our Brazilian viewers who are watching today. We're excited to be flying over your home country. All right, look at these this beautiful lake region up ahead. Very pretty scenery here.
All I was trying to do is put my drone camera back, which again, usually wouldn't cause crash, but hey, it's an imperfect world. Stuff is always breaking.
Talk to next to me. Noticed it out of my window.
Let's see. Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Okay. How's your coffee today?
And Edrin and the Pelican.
Yeah.
Are you able to say or not? But is the Pelican coming to 2024?
I know that question came up in the last developer live stream, and I can't remember what York said.
So need to load the flight plan in.
If you want to look at the last developer live stream somewhere,
that's where someone mentioned it. All right, yeah, cool.
It came up.
I just know that it's quite popular amongst some of our fly-in guests.
Yep. Send that route to air traffic control. That updates that.
But we have Nickrath,
and you can send it to avionics, but you have to do it once you're in.
the ornithopter, and Edarin likes the pelican.
Oh, that is indeed Nickrath in the ornithopter.
Yeah.
Did the question get asked by Edarin by any chance?
I honestly don't remember.
Well, Edarin's here, so he
Yeah.
said yes, he did. All right, I'll stop asking now.
Yes.
You've already asked for yourself. Yeah, very pretty. Oh, look, this is very pretty up here.
Oh, you're just getting the lake region where I'm flying over now. You're just slightly behind me, so that's just coming into your.
Yeah,
How in the world
sure, I'm doing sort of 25.
am I going to find them?
Rather than squared at the moment.
You should have just went forward.
Is 114, but I must have a tailwind because my ground speed is 129. I definitely have a tailwind then.
We can't move ahead, and I don't know that I can slew that fast.
130.
Let me go back to the main menu.
Oh, the dragon! If anyone saw that on April Fool's Day, someone released a dragon mod for Microsoft Flight Simulator, and people thought it was an April Fool's joke, but it wasn't. It's a real freeware mod you can download. The dragon actually flies, and you can breathe fire.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I don't know. Has anyone in the chat tried that dragon mod?
No.
If so, what did you think?
I've not, certainly. There have been some there have been some good ones in the past, haven't they? Where,
Yeah.
Yeah. I particularly do you remember the cardboard Spitfire?
I do remember that, and the cheesecake mod.
Yeah. My particular weird and favourite one, of course, is Wombi's seagull.
Yeah.
I think that's just amazing.
Or Jane riding the witch's broom.
The witch's broom, yeah.
Yes, Age of Prometheus. It was not just a joke, despite being announced on April Fool's Day. It is a real mod.
Uba Tuba.
Download it. Let me see if I can find the link to that. Stand by one moment.
Yeah, this is nice.
Here is a link in the chat. That is a free download. Unfortunately, PC only. This is not on the marketplace. But if you are a PC player,
add as
does breathe
departure.
Fire.
Wow.
Well,
I'm gonna have to get it just because.
let's try it
Why not, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
and see if it starts us where I put it. If not, we'll
That's pretty cool.
try to spawn at Uba Tuba and wait for them to come in, then we'll head on with them. Uba Tuba.
I love it when people are creative. I have the creative ability of a brick, I'm afraid. So when people come up with these things, it always has me slightly jealous that they can come.
No, we're back at the start. Jeez. Okay, we're heading on to Uba Tuba.
You know, I'm personal friends with the community manager for BioWare at EA.
Oh, really? Throwing out names now.
You know, probably over a year ago at this point, and sort of just joking around, and we were like, haha, wouldn't it be funny if as like a cross promotion for the new Dragon Age game, we made a dragon mod for Flight Simulator. Ha. Right? We were sort of just joking around about it. And then obviously this was not a cross promotion with EA, but then someone actually did it.
Yeah. Then you could have wound him up a little bit and said, look what we've done. Not bad, this Skywagon.
Uba Tuba. S-dub.
Joystick do people use the most? I use a Thrustmaster Warthog HOTAS and Thrustmaster TPR rudder pedals. And then if you're also wondering how my camera's moving around like this, I also have a Tobii Eye Tracker 5 for head and eye tracking.
I should use mine, but I'm just... So I'm quite the hardware temptress, and I've got quite a lot of hardware. So I've got a Virpil stick down there. I've got a Thrustmaster one up there. I've got a wing stick there. But I have been slightly blown away by the Moza.
Ah, the force feedback one.
Yeah, and now I have it for everything. Because of course, for helicopters, I can just literally move it wherever I like, and it sticks there. If I need a spring one, a sprung joystick, it just has it. So it caters for absolutely everything I need in one base. Mm-hmm. So yeah, and of course with lots of force feedback stuff on the go at the moment, I think that the market's going to get very interesting. For my yoke today, I'm using the flightsim.com force feedback yoke, which I absolutely love for GA flying.
Yeah. Lipstick asks, which other games would make for interesting cross promotions? Well, obviously, the only one we've done so far is Halo with the Pelican.
Yeah.
As Edarin well knows. But yeah, that is an interesting question. What are some other?
Okay, so we've got the flight plan now put in.
Good cross promotion. I personally, I would say that we could get not necessarily aircraft, but you could get some cool liveries inspired by other games in the Xbox family. Like earlier this year, obviously there was Avowed, and then South of Midnight launched earlier this week. You could get some
smoke in the cockpit.
Both of those.
Smoke in the cockpit.
Sea of Thieves. Well, do you know what? That's an interesting thing, right? Because I'm going to be doing a stream series
Sea of Thieves
this year where the lady takes the Clem around the world, but she doesn't take it all the way around the world because, of course, the Clem doesn't have enough space nor storage for the fuel to get her across the ocean. So she took a steamliner, and wouldn't it be great if there was a steamliner we could just chug across the ocean?
So they'll all be coming in for landings here in a moment.
Starfield, that's an interesting one too.
They're all going to be coming in doing touch and goes. Let me get myself off the runway.
I am 13 miles out from our first touch and go. Oh, Fireflyer, Crimson Skies. Oh, be still.
Okay, so they're going to be coming in.
I love
touching down right about here.
I love that setting. I love the franchise. I like the it's sort of like the 1930s golden era of aviation in an alternate history. I like the pulpiness of it. How like the characters are sort of like over the top. Retro, almost like a radial serial reading, the way they do their lines. I love Crimson Skies so much, and I would love to see that franchise make a comeback. But yes, miss it. I agree. Now, there were two games. There was one for PC, and then a few years later they released a sequel for the Xbox. I like them both, but I personally preferred the PC version.
That's a cat bat. I spy with my little eye a cat bat.
Play Balatro on an airliner as MFD. Oh, that's... For those of you who haven't played Balatro yet, it's now included with Game Pass. And boy, is that game addicting. Let me tell you, if you're a Game Pass subscriber and you want to get sucked into a new game, try Balatro. It's so good. It's such a well-designed game.
What's a too long didn't read summary of what the game's about?
Well,
when I got this PC, they gave me a month of
like poker, but
a month of Game Pass, but
it's not like poker.
There's not anything that I want to play over there. One moment I have a feline companion who wants to go outside. I have to open the door.
Flush. Like you need to understand what those terms are, but you make various different poker hands with the cards that you're dealt, and different hands
get your kitty on
different amount of points, and each round you need to exceed.
Let me grab my coffee. Cheers. Here's to your health, well-being, and prosperity.
To the next round. But then you can modify your deck in different ways. You can add cards, you can delete cards, you can...
Everybody wants a big deck.
More points.
I don't know a single guy who doesn't want a big deck.
Where it really comes into play. You can have up to 5 jokers or more, depending if you can get some special modifications. You can have by default up to 5 jokers, and there's like over 100 jokers that are possible, and you can buy them randomly. And different jokers have different effects.
It is default of society.
Addictive and incredibly fun. And like I said, if you are a Game Pass subscriber, it is included with Game Pass now. So definitely encourage you to check that out.
Interesting.
Balatro was my jam last year, says Asia Prometheus. Yeah, let me just check my Steam library. Hold on one second. Let me tell you how many hours I have in Balatro.
Okay.
Probably over 100.
All right. He's not gonna do a touch and go unless.
I have 118 hours in Balatro.
Holy moly.
Yeah. I've got almost all the achievements unlocked. The thing I like about Balatro too is you can play it for just a short amount of time. You get 500 hours, then we'll respect you. You'll respect my title of poker player.
Yeah.
Come on, touch.
I'm gonna.
I don't see any wheels.
500 hours and we're all pilots.
He forgot to put his wheels down.
Uh-huh.
Oh, and he's off. Oh, into the trees, and he crashed. No. Oh.
Be pretty no life and play lots of MMOs. You know, if I talk Final Fantasy 14, I've been playing for a little.
Oh.
I've got over 3,900 hours. 3,500 days.
Yes. I don't want to know.
The game is resetting him, and he keeps falling out of the sky. It's respawning him up in the air, and he's obviously got
all the hours.
Engine problems, or he can't recover from it, or autopilot set on.
I played that game.
Either way, we saw him drop out of the sky a bunch of times.
I don't want to know what that number
It was worth it for you tuning in just to see that.
Started in 2004 like everyone else, right? So
Here comes Rigor Mortis.
All right, I got the field.
I don't know. It could be just the graphics. Maybe it can't do the. But I'm not seeing people's wheels.
Coming in very hung.
But that would be a clean. There's his wheels. Clean touch and go. Yeah, that guy's a pro. That is a Sky Dude.
Mm-hmm. I'll just upload a speed and slip it if I can.
All right, Mini Roadster S coming in. And that guy's always in people's way.
Oh.
Clean, clean, center line. Look at that. Look at
necessary here.
Just a touch off.
You might get
clean.
I might get away with it.
Oh, you might.
Hundreds of hours on Unreal Tournament. Oh, very artful. So, Unreal Tournament, 1999, OG Unreal Tournament. That was probably
Sir DLW hits it.
Really
puts a wingtip down. This guy, Ray Gassman's overshooting.
Plan, and we were like,
too fast.
And we
It's crabbing.
And stuff.
Sir DLW, he had a wingtip. Mini Roadsters in people's way. Unwired Eddie coming in. Nice, clean, and of course, somebody's in somebody's face. Very nice. Up, little slip. Oh, nice, clean.
I should be fine here. No need to slip on final. Chat, get ready to rate my landing harshly.
I think, you know what, in both sims, we're probably...
Airliner, clean.
Same position.
Oh, are we?
Yeah, I'm trying to slow it down a little bit, but...
Didn't want to do it. Oh.
Might get there first.
Oh,
it's...
Keeping it together.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see that either. Okay, all right, we're gonna float a little bit here.
Yeah.
Bouncy.
To float a little bit, right.
Okay.
Clean.
I'm probably about 10 seconds from touchdown. How about you?
Behind 10 seconds.
Okay, we'll watch my landing first, then I'll very quickly cut over to you.
Clean.
Okay.
Code nuts.
Of
course, clean. Sky Dude.
Yeah. Oh, no.
There's Seedy.
All right.
There's those. You overshot. Seedy didn't touch down.
Flare.
Oh, he's touched. He's touching down way out there. Over. No, you're supposed to touch down in front of our camera, mister.
It's actually impressive that you and I...
That's all right. He's a real pilot.
Simultaneously, we basically formation land.
I'm always crashing most of my landings.
Different versions of the sim.
So at the end, I got nothing to say. Nothing to say.
I'm normally at the back, you see, aren't I? So yeah, it was good.
And folks, look at this beautiful scenery here.
Look at it. Oh,
beautiful sort of beach resort area.
We might overshoot the runway. Trying to get up to speed before we get to the end here. We'll see. We're up. Just barely.
That squealing noise was me, but it's not. It's everyone behind me.
All right, let's try to get back on track here.
Look at everyone coming in.
Nav, autopilot.
You got some contrails visible behind you as well.
Yeah.
You wanted 5.5.
And in front. And planes going across with creating them. I just love how alive flight sims are these days, or certain
Truly.
flight sims.
Truly, and it's just going to keep getting better.
And then you know, with the effects and everything that are coming in, and the weather effects, and the
shoot, we're way on now.
Oh god, you know, the stuff that's coming in Sim Update 2 with the vortexes and
that's where we want to go.
Turbulence. Oh, it's just going to be brilliant.
Yeah.
See you in a bit then, Tanish. It's just an incredible time to be a streamer.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing, playing?
Chad, if you are in the Sim Update 2 beta, there was a new beta build released earlier today, just a little bit before we went live to start this stream. The .12 beta build is out now. You can find the release notes to
FL004.
And Lipitorius, yes, I absolutely do remember Larry and the Land of the Lounge Lizards and Peppermint Patty and yeah. And then of course all the Sierra type of games like King's Quest, Grease Quest,
Space Quest,
Space Quest, yes. Yeah. One of my
It doesn't want to do it.
And the Sorcerer, I don't even remember that, but it was a bit of a rip-off of Monkey Island. And this
what is going on here? Why aren't you turning?
A lot of the you mentioned Monkey Island, a lot of the LucasArts adventures games, Maniac Mansion, Day of the Tentacle, Salmon Max at the Road, Full Throttle.
Day of the Tentacle, that was
Day of the Testicle.
That was my favorite one of the entire bunch.
Well, I'm going to pause, so don't come to me yet.
Okay.
But the beta build is rock solid so far. I'm really looking forward to Update 2. I didn't have the greatest experience upgrading from Sim Update 1. So I stayed on Sim Update 1 for now.
Yeah. You know, some of the earlier test builds were not as well received as the current builds are, but that's the reason why we have public betas.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I think some people, they'll think, the
it's not moving.
Is a early access or sneak sneak preview kind of thing.
Let's go.
No. If you enroll in the beta, you do so
testing it.
Well, you do so with the expectation that it is a pre-release build that is going to be buggy and it's not going to be as good as the build. And that's the whole point of why we have public betas. Now, as we get closer to releasing it, obviously it will improve based on feedback from the community. And I think the current, .11 and now .12, which came out.
Maybe I'm going the wrong way. No, because they flew into us.
We release them to everyone.
Yeah. People are telling me good things when we're talking about it on stream, which is encouraging. We did a. I said, like we said, we flew along this at 30,000 feet on Wednesday.
Oh, we're still on it.
It was just nice to be flying along with people, seeing them throughout the whole.
Oh well, we're on it. And where are we at?
Sadly, for some reason, I must have disabled the brilliantly new hand-built scenery at San
Francisco. Finally, back on track.
Have a look. It's like, oh yeah, I really did miss that. So somehow I must have disabled the airport. But the Santa, I don't know if you've seen it yet. Have you?
I think I have. Yes.
It's good.
Yeah,
very good.
Life living down here has got to be very interesting.
Scenery coming in.
Very, very interesting.
Right approach. Just brilliant. Just brilliant. If you ever get to fly an airliner in their seat, you should try it.
Okay. This is also some really cool scenery we're flying over now. Sort of
beautiful
compared to what we saw earlier.
Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think on your 2024, the beaches pop. They are much more defined. The shoreline looks better. The water looks better. I think with you and I flying along in two different sims,
going super fast.
Opportunity to just show that detail between the two.
Yeah, look, so
look
I've got some beaches
mine's
here.
much more green here instead of you've got a lovely beach going all the way along, right? And there's a beach in the cove, and I've got much more trees on it. So,
Right.
I've known plenty of beaches.
Yeah, you definitely do see the difference between 2024 and 2020 when we do just a back and forth comparison like this.
Yes.
Now, and just to be clear to everyone, Allison, your PC is no slouch. You have a very high-end PC, and you're running 2020 at ultra high-end graphical preset. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on ultra.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 2020 is still an amazing sim, and but you do see the differences. We all noticed it on Wednesday, and now I'm watching your stream and my stream simultaneously. I can see where it's not just that much finer detail.
Yeah, after you get used to 2024, I have to say it's kind of hard to go back to 2020, because you definitely do notice the differences. So like I said, I've never started 2020 after November 19th, of course, the launch date of 2020.
Yeah, same here.
I have. I mean, obviously for my work, we support both versions of this sim currently. So I have started 2020, but certainly haven't done a lot of flying in the older version, that's for sure. Almost all my actual flight time since November 19th has been on 2024.
Mine's pretty much starting to become a mix of both now. My main sort of historical stream still in 2020.
Okay. We're at the proper speed, approximately.
And we still have people who fly along that aren't quite ready to jump to 2024 yet, but more and more people are trying it now. And we're starting to do our antics in airliners in 2024 because we can do all the crazy stuff, the Paro, the circle to land here, the Ton Contins, things like that. I'll tell you what, a flight into Kathmandu in an airliner, both leaving and coming in, is just...
Well, we'd have to play Bob Seger that day.
Breathtaking.
If you know, you know.
Of course, we are now en route to Rio. We're going to see some very famous landmarks. Speaking of beaches, Allison, two of
No, it feels like we're off.
the
Yeah.
top 10 most famous beaches in the entire world, Ipanema and Copacabana,
Yes.
both in the Rio area.
I think I was in the Ipanema Tower at the Rio. That's where my...
The girl from Ipanema.
That's true, right? At Flight Sim Expo in Vegas last year, the host venue was the Rio Hotel and Casino.
Yeah.
And it was a Brazilian-themed hotel. That's right.
I should have brought some floats, shouldn't I? I could have gone skimming along and sort of
Oh yeah.
touching down in some of these bays. Oh, this is a brilliant part of the world. Brilliant part of the world. That's gone.
I'm going to spend all week
Pina coladas lit on the beach.
editing this video, removing the music from it. CD plays copyright protected music. It's copyright protected on YouTube. He's got the rights to broadcast live, and he's paid for the royalty stuff.
Brazil.
But for the rest of us who are live streamers simulcasting,
Toes.
we have to spend all week editing out and trying to mute
all of those with like
the music in the background.
Yeah, but there's
YouTube,
popular
for all the stuff they don't have,
beer.
Beer, yeah.
they have got a fantastic editor which can remove music really, really well.
Some of this just a long, cold, long drink. There's something. Someone says, "Look, something out of a coconut."
Mama bought a coconut.
It's stunning.
Yeah. Brazil, of course, is one of the top beer producing nations in the world.
One moment.
Flying along with me, guys. So I'm not on my own.
Well, that's a good question here, chat. Wait for all the options. But if you are flying on 2020 today, type 1. If you're flying on 2024, type 2. And if you're not flying at all, you're just watching the live stream, type 3.
I need to be going more north now.
It looks like we got mostly 2s, a few 1s, and I've only seen 1 or 2 3s so far. That's cool. Almost everyone is flying along in one version of the sim or another.
Or another. Excellent.
Yeah. Type nothing if you are not watching. Oh, look at this. We're gonna get a... Oh, no, I thought Have Blue 777 here might have lawn darted into the trees below.
No. They got it, have they? No, they saved it.
They pulled up. They did save it, yep.
I apologize if some of my graphic settings aren't set to ultras today. So there's a lot going on with this computer. I'm live streaming, I'm simulcasting, I've got the chat open, I've got Bushtalk open, I've got blah, 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 blah. And so, still broadcasting at 3840 by 2160, but...
just watching the chat. What was the question? Okay, if
some things are
the chat,
turned down.
Wow, the water masking and the trees and the mountains. This is a...
Let me quickly look and see if there's anything
update 19. I have to
we can improve right quick.
Your edge definition of your water area on that lake. I think we're pretty much the same.
Okay, the terrain is at 400, so that the terrain is up all the way.
Pretty much, yeah.
I think I might be slightly higher than you. I'm at 4,000.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, we don't need to see buildings, trees, plants, rocks, or grass right at the moment, and objects are up to 200, so we're pretty high.
not without.
So it's running pretty good.
Anyway.
Who wouldn't want to have a little secret code of their own?
I've flown a lot of Cessnas. I like this one.
The 185?
Yeah. Yes, I mean,
that's where I'd want to be. Right there with one of those beachy places.
Yeah.
Oh, this is heaven on earth right here, man. Or madam.
Ooh, boa.
All of it.
2 boas. Where do we go? Oh, it's
okay, so everybody's turned to that way now. Get back on the plan.
Manx says the Shark is 2024 compatible. I don't know what that is referring to.
So there's a new plane come out today.
Yes.
It's the Shark Aero 600 Ultra Light Sport.
Oh yes, I saw screenshots of that. Looks pretty fun.
And if you recall, it's the Shark Aero is what Zara Rutherford flew around the world in.
Oh, that's right.
So I've been waiting for it for a while. It's not my next series, but now that it's available, then I can now do her series too. Being the youngest woman to fly solo around the world.
Yeah. Now, I had a question. I let my team down completely. This is probably about 2 years ago. I had a question at Pub Trivia, and it was asking for Zara Rutherford's name. It said who in 2022 or 2021, whenever it was she did that, became the youngest woman to fly solo around the world. And I knew the answer. I knew it. We had written an article about her for our website. We recorded a video with her for our YouTube channel. And all my brain, for whatever reason, I was drawing a blank. All I could come up with was her website, flyzola.com. And all my brain would give me was Zola. And I knew that wasn't her actual name. That was just her website's name. But my brain would not get Zara Rutherford when I needed it to. And I let my team down.
So Super Typhoon, yes, it is the flight I will do after the Clem now. Unless someone brings an Aztec out in here.
What time is it? It is 12 minutes after the hour.
You know Zara personally. Oh, lovely. What an amazing thing to do. Just need someone, because there's only one livery that comes with
Well, I got to meet Charlton Heston once. Does that count?
That would be amazing.
He had the biggest hands. I was a small little kid, though. I don't know. I can't even recall how old I was. I don't even think I was 13. I was probably around 9. I don't remember. I just remember that he was so tall and just towered over me like a majestic statue. And when I shook his hand, it's just his hands were so big.
70 miles till we get to the next waypoint, which is in the Rio area.
And that's what I remember about Charlton Heston.
70 was 71,
70, yeah.
in fact. Yeah.
I was going to say, it's about 100 miles on it, but between each one. I have a very old GPS. I can hardly see anything on it.
Well, do you? You're not in 2024. I was gonna say you just bring up the EFB, but
I know.
you
I
cannot.
know.
Yeah.
I could if I could.
Yeah.
Did you watch The Electric Company growing up?
Beautiful scenery and some beautiful.
How good is your memory?
Behind.
I would if I could, but I can't, so I won't. Please forgive me if I don't. Who sang that?
Let's bring this conversation full circle.
You win the whole universe and the internet today if you can go in and chat and tell me.
Like, I know part of the.
Who sang that in The Electric Company? I would if I could, but I can't, so I won't. Please forgive me if I don't.
Famous landmarks and scenery. Have there been any?
I'm gonna go out of Twitter and type that in.
Do you know what?
See if anybody can get it. They win the internet today.
There's a famous carnival scene in Live and Let Die, isn't there?
Yeah.
But that's New Orleans, isn't it?
Yeah, that one's mostly set in the U.S. South. Yeah, Louisiana. Yeah. Daniel Craig one wasn't it? There was one Daniel Craig one, Quantum of Solace, was set in South America, Bolivia, I think it was. I don't think that was Brazil, though.
The lovely Jaguar. That must be a Catus Batus. Oh, I suddenly paused and he disappeared.
Oh. All right, I'm going to search for this online. Oh. Okay, yes. Moonraker. Bond goes to Rio during the Brazilian military junta and then up the Amazon River in a speedboat to Hugo Drax's secret facility located in the Amazon jungle.
Oh.
There we go.
But not to Rio, I guess.
No, I think he arrives in Rio and then travels up the river.
Ah, I see.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. Moonraker. Appears to be the only time that Bond has been to Brazil. The clearly far better franchise, Fast and Furious, went to Brazil. So believe it or not, I have never seen a Fast and Furious movie. I haven't seen any of them.
Me neither.
Me neither.
I'm still bitter because they released the 10th movie in that franchise and they did not name it Fast 10 Your Seatbelts. It was right there. It was right there. and they didn't name it that.
Well, it's a bit like I've said before, isn't it? You know, speed, right?
Yeah.
If you in France, it could have been
Yes.
Le Grand Vitesse.
Yeah.
You know, something like that. What did they call it?
Le speed.
Speed.
Yeah.
Le speed.
Eddie
Izzard.
Very famous bit about that. Yeah.
Izzard.
Yeah.
Eddie Izzard. Yeah. Dressed to Kill.
So it interjects some
Comedy skit.
humor.
Yes.
Le Grand Vitesse. Le speed.
That was one of the best comedy routines I think I'd ever seen in my life up to that point.
Oh.
Still ranks right up there.
Anxious saying
One of the best comedy shows ever.
Is an island
Oh.
located off the coast of Rio de Janeiro state, Brazil.
Well, I'm not.
The island, which is part of the municipality of Angra dos Reis, remains largely undeveloped. For almost a century it was closed by the Brazilian government to free movement or settlement because it first housed a leper colony and then a top-security prison. Cândido Mendes high-security prison housed some of the most dangerous prisoners within the Brazilian penal system. It was closed in 1994. The largest village on the island is called Vila do Abreu with approximately 1,900 inhabitants. The island, which is 193 square kilometers in area, is now a popular tourist destination that is noted for its scenic beauty, unspoilt tropical beaches, luxuriant vegetation and rugged landscape.
So let me get this straight. It's a penal colony, but now it's... That is something we just picked up, some Brazilian radio station in the area. "19 minutes after the hour," and you know what that means? It means open the plane windows, Scotty. Which we can't do in the simulator. Sometimes I think in some planes.
Which Game Pass game released in 2025 do you recommend? So, okay, so I have not played it yet, personally, so I'm not vouching with personal knowledge, but I've heard Avowed. Yes, Lipstick. I've heard Avowed is really good. South of Midnight just launched earlier this week. That one's also getting some pretty decent reviews. You can check that one out, too. When I have more time, I've been very busy lately, both professionally and personally. So I haven't had a lot of time for playing video games on my own time, but Avowed is definitely one that I want to try when I have a more available free time.
I think my housemate's playing quite a lot of it at the moment.
Yeah. Doom coming next month. Yeah, the
Heaven on Earth.
Aegis Doom. What's it called? I can't remember the actual name of it, but it's like Doom set in medieval times.
In the Middle Ages, really?
Yeah.
That's quite an interesting concept.
Sounds like D&D to me.
Looks pretty awesome, you gotta say.
Oh, that is lovely.
I must say, I'm quite surprised to see Grovosaurus is not in a 747 today.
Oh, you know,
Doom Dark Ages, that's what it's called.
I just realized I normally have the water all the way off or as low as possible, medium, because I'm never flying around water. I should have thought to absolutely make sure that the water waves...
Hopefully they use middle-aged, Dark Ages type weaponry as well, right? So you haven't got a BFG and stuff like that.
I imagine it'll be like...
a little bit more fidelity. I mean, I can make out
like
ripples.
But, you know, it wouldn't be Doom if you
pretty impressive.
Using, like, actual, real weapons that weren't completely turned up to 11.
I want to play Kingdom Come 2.
I played the OG Doom 1 back when it was released.
Me too.
1994.
Yep. We used to play it at lunchtime on a LAN in the office.
That's right. We used to do as well. We set up. That was the first LAN that we set up, so we could.
Computer lab.
And we would modem to each other, call into each other's modems, and
At lunchtime.
back then and play it that way.
Computer instructor used to let me and my friends go into the computer lab and play deathmatch Quake against each other.
Yeah, that's right. That's what we used to do.
Because of course in those days there was only like dial-up internet, and so you could really only play like 1v1 Quake when you were at home. But in the
Duke Nukem.
lab,
Duke Nukem. When we were able to finally, somebody got smoke in the cockpit. Smoke in the cockpit.
I was old enough to be working, and we
I'm still trying to get to my smoke in the cockpit. I was too busy looking around things, and I missed it. We're at like 22 minutes after the hour. I'm just now getting to it. So
Stuxnet was banned from the computer lab.
smoke in the cockpit.
One.
is a Jaguar, recently released Jaguar. Awesome.
It's a beautiful car. I wonder if that is natural, or if, you know, we build such amazing things, and I'm always amazed when I fly around
Geography.
the world and I see things, these
lessons too.
bridges and
You said for like when you're learning
out in the ocean. So I'm wondering again, how much of this was natural and how much of all this is of what we're seeing was man-made.
and seeing what they look like in the real world, and Flight Simulator makes a great learning tool for that. For example, if you were taking a history class, you're learning about the French Revolution, you could then go in Flight Simulator and visit like Place de la Concorde and the Palace of Versailles and some of these other places that were close.
Okay, while he's talking about that, in an earlier live stream series, I don't remember what numbers they are in the Skydude live stream series, I did my first world tour. And when we got to Macedonia, I decided to do the path of Alexander the Great. So we went down from Macedonia through the Hellespont to Troy. And then from there, using the history books and videos that people have put out about the battles of Alexander the Great, I did the tour of Alexander the Great. So a lot of these episodes, that's the last thing you should probably do when you're trying to get people into your videos or your past live streams, by saying, "Oh, just don't watch any of those." But if you're going to watch some, the Alexander the Great campaign over a week or more, and again, trying to add in other videos to it, showing you the battles, and but flying the fields, flying the area around Troy, flying all of it. So amazing. The city of Tyre and what he did there. Speaking of man-made things, that will blow your mind, and it's still there. You could actually go right to a thing that Alexander the Great soldiers built. Amazing. All right, let me turn back up the hosts.
Maybe week or maybe two, maybe someone said that.
Yeah.
I've only when I read an Asterix comic.
I love asterisk comics.
We think of it quite a lot up here because we have an area in Newcastle called Wall's End. It's literally where Hadrian's Wall ends.
Oh yeah.
Caesar salad. No, that doesn't count, Nick Graff.
Hey, but it might remind you of the Roman Empire.
Yeah, I guess it might, but yeah.
Flying around Rome is always fun. You just pause and hover over it and use the drone and just
So the premiere of Last of Us.
take it all in,
Season
and
1 or season 2?
mind blowing.
Season 2.
Mind-blowing that we can go and just
speaking of things
hover over a virtual...
Andor Season 2.
Oh, yes.
A virtual place
Andor is
in the world.
Peak Star Wars right now.
Season 1, I mean, I'm quite sad because there is a definitive end to it, right?
Yes.
In the Netherlands, this stretch of bridge right here, very impressive.
Who plays
But in the Netherlands,
you should prepare to watch Rogue.
You should go see what they're doing over there.
Last episode of Andor Season 2.
Mind-blowing.
Picks up right where Andor
This is like,
leaves off.
I don't know, like a fourth of an amazing water bridge that they have built.
Before Rogue One.
As far as the length. This is like a baby one compared to some of the stuff that they're doing over there.
Remember, Andor is before Rogue One, so this is like...
Oh, now they've switched to Star Wars?
I thought that... Oh, God. Every time I think of the actor, I can never remember his name. The guy who played Gollum.
Andy Serkis.
He was brilliant as the team leader.
Mm-hmm.
So brilliant, I forgot his name. Sorry, Andy.
Did you know that Andor is inspired by Star Wars? Bet you didn't know that. Really? No kidding, huh?
No.
I had no idea.
Nope. Clueless.
I was in this. I was in this Denny's with some friends once.
Called Restinga de Marambea. I'm sure I pronounced that incorrectly.
And we were all
my best.
Getting ready to order our stuff, right? When the waitress comes out, hey, can I take your order? And I and my friends give their order, and I kind of raised my hand and did a little hand gesture like a Jedi mind trick. And I'm trying to remember the exact thing I said, but I think I said, I'll just have the coffee, you know me. And the waitress says, oh yeah, I know you. And turns around and walks off. And my friends knew that I was new in town, and I had never been there with them before, and I had never seen that waitress before. And that it worked. I said, isn't that funny? Yeah. So I deliberately tried the Jedi mind trick, and it worked just fine. I was as stunned as everyone else. And after that, I became a fan of Moons Over My Hammy. I think I ended up ordering that after getting my coffee. That's what I think it was actually about, like just the coffee, and I'll order later, leave the menu with me, you know me. That's what it was, because normally I'm really slow. I can't decide. I'm always so excited looking at the menu, I don't know what to get. I was born a poor white child. So, yeah, menus, impressive, you know. So I'm always the last, and I kind of want to extend things. You know, I don't want to like go to a place and want to hang out with our friends, and then after everybody's eaten, they kind of want to hurry you out. And so I think that was another tactic of mine to like stall it out a little bit, 15 minutes or 20 minutes before I actually put my order in. So when conversations are anyway, blah, 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 and then you get where I'm going with that, I think. Moons Over My Hammy.
Yeah, it's the,
these are
from the point at which
these aren't the pancakes you're looking for.
And pressure only happens for a little bit, but yeah.
This is lovely.
Yes, the ship battles in Star Wars are based on World War II dogfights, not realistic like science.
All the characters are based on archetypes initially,
because they look much.
Lucas was very into Joseph Campbell.
Green,
very
like
much.
A realistic, quote unquote, realistic.
But most good stories revolve around
beyond visual range
archetypes,
with like missiles or laser weapons that can track.
So you can dress it up any way you want.
Miles away.
Swords, lasers, phasers.
Wouldn't even see each other.
Toothpicks.
Would not be very exciting to watch on screen.
Ninjas with toothpicks. But as long as they're archetypal characters, it works no matter if you're here or from Cygnus 12.
How much further have you got to go, Seedy? Whereabouts are you? Trying to see if I'm keeping up with you.
This is awesome.
To go, and yeah, we're almost in the same location. I'm just slightly ahead of you.
Okay.
If we just go back to my screen, you can see where I am. There's that long, thin strip.
Yeah.
It was worth tuning in today. There's the pad. It was worth it. Look at some of these places in this that are on our planet. This is so beautiful.
So I'm partway through season 2 of The Expanse.
And it looks so good in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024.
Which movie is the most accurate scientifically? Well, that's an interesting question.
There's a lot of them out there, but probably Arthur C. Clarke.
The Martian was pretty accurate. I think they had like a science consultant on that. A lot more.
The Andromeda Strain.
What's it called? Interstellar by Christopher Nolan. They had a science consultant.
Oh, you're gonna get me. You're gonna get me in trouble saying Interstellar.
2000 points.
Bull.
Dave goes.
Krausian.
Portal, whatever you want to call it, and then
Boulder Dash.
Up until that was.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
Gravity is actually not as scientifically accurate as you would think.
Star Trek, the original series, was very, very
about that. He's
trying to be about real locations in space.
I love Gravity from like a cinematography perspective, though.
Man,
IMAX.
That's the thing about science fiction. I think it's better to ask, what science fiction from back then kind of is more true today. I don't know.
Well, no, not so little, but I liked it.
Arthur C. Clarke.
You're probably referring to the original 1970s.
2001 and where we were going.
The original one, yeah.
Not the 2004, 2005.
I liked the later one, though.
Yeah.
It had its critiques, but I quite liked the later one. I thought it was quite a nice twist on everything. But yeah, the original one for me was just brilliant. So which film is the most scientifically accurate then?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Yeah. I can just make a few suggestions that have had like science consultants working on them and did their best to reflect what they thought was accurate scientific knowledge.
We haven't done any role playing today. Usually I didn't think about it because it's going to be one of these community fly-ins, but
today could be disproven.
You see that golf course down there?
Now with a new discovery.
Yeah, very much so, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to turn them down. Okay. I would like to do some role playing. I need to get a screen up. I wasn't planning this. This is just off the cuff, so the ND dice. Close that. Would take but another moment, and it shall pop up before your eyes, and you will be amazed. It's like I'm waiting for the amazing. When's the amazing gonna happen? That's pretty amazing. Oh, get myself in trouble. We're partially close to amazing. If I squeeze it this way. Squeeze. Don't squeeze. We're so close. We're there. Okay. You and me, who's in the chat room? Is anybody here? Is anybody watching? Because if people are watching, then I get to add pluses. You get to help with this golf match. Come on. Give me the right screen. Nobody's currently watching. I feel horrible. Alright then, I'm going to give myself a plus because virtually we've been playing a lot of golf. And I'm going to give... I'll need a 20-sided dice. And roll. And if we get over a 10, I win the golf match. Look at that. We rolled a crit. And then with my bonus of 1, we got a 21. So I critted and then I put a little bit of a kapow on it. That's how you do role-playing in Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Of course, the Christ the Redeemer statue. Easily the most well-known and recognizable landmark in all of Brazil.
I would say it's much more easily seen at distance as well in 2024. Very, very visible. It's an interesting coastline to fly along.
At this distance, the way the camera sees everything, it looks like a Pablo Picasso or...
lakes, obviously the beaches.
What was his partner's name? The other guy that painted with him. I can't remember now.
Oh, looks like
I'll say George Brock.
See it there?
Yeah.
It's so obvious when you see a...
Okay, so I'm ahead of Seedy. Let me go in the cockpit and slow down a little bit.
Yeah, you see, I don't have the golf course.
Oh, you don't?
No, I just have.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Legs.
There's
Yeah,
a side-by-side comparison there.
Yeah.
There's a golf course, plain as day, visible. You can see the sand traps and everything.
No.
But then on Allison's screen in 2020, no golf course.
Oh, there it is. There it is. No, I tell a lie. I was looking at the wrong building. Look.
Oh, okay.
No, there it is. You're a little bit ahead of me.
So yeah, it looks like a Cubist painting.
There it is. Look.
George Brock. I can't
Oh,
remember anymore.
I thought that you had a great difference.
If you don't use it, you lose it.
Crazy how much better 2020 looks. Really, I think the exact opposite. I think 2024 looks substantially better. Do a side-by-side comparison.
I mean, now I've got clouds in the way. That's
Yeah. '24 is all blurry. Not on my screen.
No.
Maybe it's being downscaled for the...
No.
Yes, but I'm running
maybe.
at 1440p resolution, ultra settings. I think it looks fantastic. Very sharp.
what I would say.
Well, the stream may not be. You know, Twitch isn't.
Have a play with Sim 2.
As far as I know, Twitch, you know, caps the size and the speeds, and it doesn't really support 4K.
But it could be settings. It could be, you know. I think that CD's 2024 is looking a bit sharper than mine.
I'm broadcasting it at 4K, and
not bad. It's not bad. You know, I am running on.
And the terrain is at 400%. It's maxed out. The object level of detail is maxed out.
Settings.
Since we're up in the air this high, I don't have like all the ground
Significantly better than 2020.
graphics on. If we were going to be, you know, if we land or whatever, and or going to go camping or whatever, I'll reverse it. I'll turn down other things and turn up all the ground objects to their maximum.
It does make a
resolution.
Residential neighborhood located in the south zone of the city of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. It borders São Conrado, Leblon, Lacoa, and Jardim Botanico neighborhoods and is famous for its high concentration of artists and intellectuals. TOUCH Rio, One of the most important Brazilian universities, as well as several schools, are located in the neighborhood. Gouveia is well known because of the Gouveia area, which is considered a bohemian quarter and which is frequented by the city's youth. It has a privileged location overlooking Mount Corcovado and access to Leblon Beach to the south, the Botanical Garden to the north, and the Tijuca Forest to the west. The neighborhood is named...
Okay, there's Ipanema right here in front of us.
2 meters height peak which resembles the topsail of the Caribbean sailing ship. The Hipódromo de Gouveia is a horse racing venue located in the neighborhood. Estadio de Gouveia, the home of São Flamengo Football Club, despite being named after the neighborhood, is located in the Lagoa neighborhood. Gouveia was the site of a street circuit that hosted Grand Prix racing in the 1930s and 1940s.
All right. The girl from Ipanema. Okay. Brazilian radio's kicking in. I didn't touch anything. It just wanted to play. I'm going to have to edit all this out. I'm sorry if you're going to be watching the replay of this live stream, and right here you can hear me talking. You're not hearing any music. Brazilian radio station just kicked in by itself. It wanted to be heard. If I bring the camera down, it'll probably try to sharpen itself more.
Na próxima vez eu vou me cuidar de como hoje estou, irei me lembrar. E quando pensar,
you can see it sharpening. It's trying.
Sofri, farei como aprendi.
It's trying to get it all tight. You could, yeah, if you just hover a minute, it's trying to download the maps. So the more you hang out over the area, if it can feed you more information, it will feed you more information.
E ao recordar, isso vai me ajudar, e os erros vou evitar. Eu não me perderei, atento aos sinais, nas trilhas do bom pastor, então seguirei em paz.
Lagoa is an affluent residential neighborhood in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, located around the Rodrigo de Freitas Lagoon. It borders the neighborhoods of Ipanema, Leblon, Copacabana, Gouveia, Jardim Botanico, and Humaita. It is the third most expensive neighborhood to live in South America. It is also one of the few places in Rio de Janeiro without a favela, or slum. The lagoon represents a popular leisure area, allowing the practice of various sports, such as rowing and water skiing, in addition to cycling, as it has a 7.5 kilometers long bike path on its bank. It is a mostly residential neighborhood. There is no strong retail commerce, as in the neighboring neighborhoods of Ipanema, Leblon, and Copacabana. Most commercial establishments are restaurants, such as kiosks on the waterfront and other restaurants on internal streets. The Jardim de la Canal, through which the waters of the lagoon communicate with those of the Atlantic Ocean, establishes the divider between the Lagoa neighborhood and the neighboring neighborhoods of Ipanema and Leblon.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna have to edit all that out, and again, that's gonna be a copyright thing. Back to our host before the show winds down.
All right, great look at the stadium there.
stadium. We could have a football match.
Now, I'm not going to try it because I don't think I can pull it off in an X-Cub. But if someone wants to try to land...
Oh, that's an interesting looking building.
Americana, be my guest. If we have anyone flying a helicopter or something like vertical takeoff, like a Joby S4 eVTOL or a Ornithopter, something like that, give it a shot.
Going around Sugarloaf Mountain.
I want the Ornithopter back for 2024. You know, I actually haven't tried loading it in, but I don't think it's available. Some lovely buildings.
Avangel landed in the stadium in a video. Oh, what was she flying at the time?
There's the stadium.
Is a municipality of the state
type?
of Rio de Janeiro in the southeast region of Brazil. It lies across Guanabara Bay facing the city of Rio de Janeiro and forms part of the Rio de Janeiro metropolitan area. The city has the nicknames of Mikiti, Nikki City, and the Smile City. The municipality contains part of the 2,400 hectares Serra de Tararica State Park, created in 1991. Niterói is located between the Guanabara Bay, to the west, the Atlantic Ocean, to the south, Marica, to the east, and São Gonçalo, to the north. There are a number of beaches in the area, including Praia de Fora and Praia do Embuí, with their historical value, Piratininga Beach, Camboinhas Beach, Itaipu Beach, and Itacoatiara Beach, one of the most visited, Praia do Sossego, Praia of Adam and Eve, and Praina. It has two saltwater lagoons, Piratininga and Itaipu, linked by the Camboata Canal. The Itaipu Lagoon connects to the sea through the Itaipu Canal. The relief consists of crystalline terrains, divided into massifs and coastal hills. The massifs predominate in the south and form the mountains of Malheiro, Calaboca, and Tararica, where is the Stone of the Elephant, the highest point of the municipality, 412 meters high. The coastal plains are composed of sediments, obviously located near the sea. The most extensive area covers the entire area of Piratininga and Itaipu lagoons.
The radio again kicks in by itself.
President Costa e Silva Bridge, commonly known as the Rio-Niterói Bridge, is a box girder bridge crossing Guanabara Bay, in the state of Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. It connects the cities of Rio de Janeiro and Niterói. It is currently the longest pre-stressed concrete bridge in the southern hemisphere and the sixth longest in the world. From its completion...
How do you pre-stress the bridge?
Until 1985...
You suck, bridge! You suck and we haven't even built you yet, but you suck!
Causeway.
Is that pre-stressing?
It was operational. It was necessary to travel about 120 kilometers on roads or choose to use ferries.
You suck, road. Bridge. It was just to toughen you up. But now that you're tougher, you're ready to be installed. We pre-stressed it good, boss. I wanted to go back that way. I wanted to find the Christ the Redeemer statue.
In the Americana.
And I think it's over here in the mountain.
All right.
I'll take that.
Don't know for certain, though.
Thank you very much.
Just that's what my gut's telling me.
Making my turn on to final now. 2 white, 2 red on the pappies. We're looking pretty good. Oh, slightly too low now. That's okay.
Who's your pappy?
There we go. Back on the glide slope. Throttle to idle.
Well, we'll try to find it next time.
That was definitely not a cargo landing.
Oh, I hate when they do that. That's funny a couple of times.
A little bit right of the center line. I got distracted by that airliner that was coming towards me.
Yeah, it was still pretty well controlled, my friend.
Yeah. All right, I'm just gonna pull off to the side of the runway here. We'll go in between the two runways is where we'll park, and then we can gather.
Oh dear.
We can gather on foot.
There's two stadiums.
Runway 02.
Oh no.
Right. Yeah, there's a Junkers. Oh no, it's fine. Nothing to see here. It'll buff out.
All right. Here I am on foot.
We can't do that here.
No, you
the
cannot.
Sambadrome
So for those
marks
of us
the
in 2024,
is
you
a
can come find me. I'm
purpose-built
sort of in
parade
between
area
the two
built
parallel
for the Rio
runways.
Carnival in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. The venue is also known as Passarela Professor Darcy Ribeiro, or simply the Sambódromo in Portuguese or Sambadrome in English. It is located in the downtown area of Cidade Nova in Rio de Janeiro, and is the place where samba schools parade competitively each year during the Rio
A
Carnival.
little bit too short, though. I am in real life.
That's right, it's not carnival time. Carnival time is usually around...
Virtual CD for sure.
Yeah. It's virtual CD and virtual...
on the title art, I put, dude, where's my carnival? And when I was looking up what we were going to be doing today, I wondered if it was carnival time. And no, they're like, no, it's
The museum
the Friday before or after Ash Wednesday.
Rio de Janeiro.
Always like ending.
So February, March.
It was designed by
sort of
Spanish
meeting up in
neo-futuristic architect
Virtually?
Santiago
Oh my gosh,
Costa,
all this talking.
next to the waterfront at Pier Mawar. Its
You don't look
construction
tall.
was supported
Well, I'm
by the
sitting down
Roberto
in a chair,
Marinho
so it's
Foundation
hard to
and
tell from a
cost
webcam.
approximately 230 million kiais. The building was opened on December 17, 2015, with President Dilma Rousseff in attendance. The main exhibition takes visitors through 5 main areas: Cosmos, Earth, Anthropocene, Tomorrow, and Us via a number of experiments and experiences. This intricate yet captivating museum mixes science with an innovative design to focus on sustainable cities
Oh my gosh.
and
Put
ecological.
me back in the cockpit, please.
The museum was part of the city's port area renewal for the 2016 Summer Olympics.
Wow, it blew my cockpit view out. I'm all of a sudden outside the aircraft. And the radio kicks in.
Preciso prosseguir. Preciso prosseguir. Preciso prosseguir. Tenho muito a aprender. A mansão celestial. Segunda milha. Preciso trilhar. Preciso trilhar. Preciso trilhar. Segunda milha.
I swore we just passed an antelope.
No dia de
Just my plane is still moving.
ao Senhor. A bela história do Natal não perde seu encanto, e em toda língua se traduz aquele doce canto.
Look like Darth Vader with the lightsaber. Or just a very well endowed shadow. Today's show not brought to you by Calgon. Thank you to everybody who came out today to check out the Microsoft Flight Simulator fly-in for this Friday, TGIF. I know we all have a story about our Friday night. So have a good time, but don't have too good of a time. Don't tell me not to have too good of a time. All right, all right. Gunner forever. Been seeing Rushio Taka a lot today, I think. So next week, we were still in Idaho, and I don't know if we've I think there's the statue up there now that I'm looking. Right up on the top of that mountain. You can kind of make it out from here. That's kind of, oh, you know why? I bet it's my draw distance. Is we were doing such close stuff, I didn't need the draw distance up either. So let's see. See if it'll come in a little tighter. That's just depth of field. Yeah, maybe. Get me the right camera, please. There we go. They're all flying around it. Yep.